Hello students, welcome to one more session of Python. In the last session we had studied tuples in Python. The main thing about tuples is they are immutable. That means once some values are stored in the tuple, we cannot change the value of the tuple. Today we are going to study one more sequence data type in Python, that is dictionary in Python. Now first of all, what comes to our mind when the term dictionary is heard? In real world scenario, dictionary is something where if we don't know the meaning of a word, we try to look for that word and we get the meaning of that word. Yes, for something similar to a real world dictionary, we have the dictionary data type. Also, going ahead in Python, dictionaries may be associated with databases, or in other languages there is something known as an associative array, which is something similar to a dictionary in Python. Basically, just let me brief you first about few of the differences between list, tuple and dictionaries, and then we try to practically create dictionaries in Python. List or tuple are accessed using indexing, that means using the index values. The basic method of storing data in the dictionary is different. List and tuples maintain a sequence of values. Dictionary is an unordered list and the values are stored in the form of key and value pair. How we can associate this? Think of like a term for which you are searching meaning for. Say for example, you are searching for a meaning of confusion. Then confusion becomes the key and the meaning of confusion which is shown in the real world dictionary becomes the value. Similarly, if you try to associate it with the database, then key becomes the column name, value becomes the value that is stored in one particular record of that particular column. So, dictionary is something interesting which we will try to learn. So, I hope all of you are ready. Let's get started by to create a dictionary. I have created one simple dictionary. Just try to observe this. The name of the dictionary is STU. Just to go back, list, when we are creating, we use circular brackets. We used square brackets. When tuples, while creating tuples, we were using circular brackets. So the only brackets that are left are the curly brackets, which we are going to use to create a dictionary. Now here ID becomes the key and 1 becomes the value. Similarly, name becomes the key and Sachin becomes the value. So basically, as I said, dictionary is a key value pair. You can have multiple key value pairs in one dictionary. So let us try to see practically how it works. I go to the Python IDLE and let us try to see, and it is created. Say for example STU and I get the value over here. Now let us try to see something. Say for example, this is a key value pair. Now wherever there is a value like this given over here, the value can be a single value, it can be a list, it can be a tuple, it can be a dictionary. So the second example that we are observing over here, we are creating a dictionary for student. Also at the same time try to think of multiple records in a database table. this is the record of first student, or in terms of dictionary this is the key, and this entire uh, inner dictionary becomes the value. So student 1 has ID 1, name Sachin and contact 9999, say for example. Similarly, the second key value pair, this is the main key, and in the next line we have the values. Well, in the inner dictionary this is key value pair 1, this is key value pair 2, and this is key value pair 3. So basically just try to think over here, or let me write something over here. Key colon value. This is the basic structure of dictionary. Now what we can have is, in place of a value you can always have a list, you can have key, you can have tuple, you can have key, and you can have dictionary. So this particular case we are taking over here, and hence this is an example of nested dictionary. So let us try to create this. Let us try to check at the Python IDLE, and wow, the dictionary is created. Okay, now the way of creating the dictionary is different, hence the way in which we access the elements of the dictionary is also going to be different. Up till now we have created two dictionaries, STU, which is a single or a simple dictionary, student, which is a nested dictionary. Now how to access the elements of the dictionary? Remember, it's a key value pair. So normally in list or tuple we were doing, say for example, STU of 0, but wait, this is not going to work over here because it's a key value pair. You cannot fetch something stored at index value 0. Here you have to fetch using the key. So say for example STU, what is the first key over here? ID. So ID, and then we get the result. Say for example, similarly I give name and I get the result. So the method of accessing values in the dictionary is through the key name. You have to pass the key name instead of the index value and you will be able to fetch. Now this is fine as far as a simple dictionary is concerned, but what if we have a nested dictionary? Student, yes, the first key is STU1, the first layer, so I get the entire record of the student. But say for example I want the contact of STU1. Because it's a nested dictionary, I will have to put one more layer of index, like say for example contact, and now let's check. Yes, it works. That means the outer layer key and the inner layer key. This we can continue. So this is how we access the dictionary. Now this is just one particular method in which we access the dictionary. Say for example there is one more method, get method, through which we can access the dictionary. Say for example stu dot get, and we pass the key name and I will get the name. Remember, this is the first dictionary STU. If we try to check over here, STU name is Sachin. So that is what we get as the result. Similarly, I can use student for the second example that we studied, dot get, this time stu2, sorry, that is I want the record of second student. Now what if I want the name of the second student? So one more layer of get, that is name, and here it is. So in case when you have something like student which is a nested dictionary, you will have to use multiple layer of get method to go to the innermost value. Here this entire record is the first layer value, this becomes the second layer value. So two ways in which you can access the dictionary, either using the square brackets and the key, or making use of the get method. Now let us try to go ahead. Let us try to check if we can do something. Say stu of name. What is the name in stu? It is Sachin in lower case. Now in list we were able to change the values. So let us try to see whether we can change the value in dictionary. I am just changing the lower case to upper case, nothing more than that, and let us try to check. Wow, just observe, the name has been changed. That means you can change the values once you have created a dictionary. That means yes, like list, dictionary is mutable. Until and unless, say for example, in the value part you have a tuple, then it will become immutable. If you have list or if you have dictionary, then it is mutable. If it is tuple, it is immutable. So once again, dictionaries are mutable basically if the value is not a tuple. Now let us try to see something else. stu city. Say I want to add a key value pair. City Rajkot to the dictionary stu. Can I add it? Yes, of course. Why? Because again here, as I said, dictionary is mutable. So let me just try to check. City, initially it was having only 3 keys, now it is having 4 key value pairs, in the sense 4 keys are there. So this is how you can add one more key value pair to the dictionary. Fine. So I hope these things are clear. The same thing you can do in case of a nested dictionary also, if you want to just change the value or add one more key value pair. Now before we go ahead, let's try to learn something in the sense, we first try to start with the methods. As far as dictionaries are concerned, we want to learn the copy method. Why we want to learn copy method? Because I want to show you number of other things also. Copy method works in the same way with dictionary as it was working with list. So s1 is equal to stu dot copy. Let us try to check this. Yes, you have s1. Do we have? Yes, we have. Now let us try to check both id of s1 and id of stu. Are they going to be the same or are they going to be different? And here it is. As you can observe, the IDs are different. Just like in list, over here when we are using the copy method, the IDs are different. That means when we create uh, one more dictionary, duplicate dictionary with the help of copy method, the IDs are also different. So now let us go back to the del command. With del command in list or tuple, we were able to do number of things. So how it works in uh, dictionaries? Say for example S1, and I want to just remove one key value pair. So does it allow? Just let us try to check. Yes, it allows. When you pass this city key, that means one particular key value pair is going to be removed. Okay, if you can see over here, when we are printing the value of S1, we have the city and Rajkot. That means city is the key, Rajkot is the value. So we can remove one particular key value pair. Now if I give delete S1, then what happens? If I try to print S1, well, name error. That means the entire object is deleted or the entire dictionary S1 is removed. Now this is very similar to the list. In tuple, if you try to recollect, we were not able to remove one particular element from the tuple, but we were able to remove the entire tuple. Let us just try to go into the flashback 1, 2, 3, and tup equals again 1, 2, 3. Now let me give delete lst of 0. This is going to work. LST, the first element is removed. 0 indicates the index. Now let me try to give delete tuple 0, and you can see it does not work. Why? Because list is mutable, tuple is immutable. And because dictionary is mutable, you can remove one particular key value pair. Of course, del tup will also work, and del lst is also going to work. That means you can remove the entire list or entire tuple. Fine. So this was about the del command. Now let us talk about the functions of dictionary. Now if you remember, basically we have had three functions in list or tuple: len, max and mean. So the question comes up is, will these functions work on dictionary or will it not work? Length of course should work, because it is just counting the number of elements in the object. So len, say for example stu, it gives 4. Why? Because there are 4 key value pairs in stu. If I give len student, can you think about the result over here? Well, 2. Why? Because if I try to check student, basically this is entire thing is one key value pair, this entire thing is another key value pair. So the basic length or the basic key value pairs are 2. But say for example I want to check length of stu1, that means I want to check the length of inner dictionary, that is stu1. Will it work? Yes, of course. So this time it will check the number of key value pairs in this inner dictionary, and that is this one. So if you observe, there are 3 key value pairs, hence it gives 3. So this is how len function will work. Now once again just try to print STU. We have 4 different keys: ID, name, contact and city. Now the question is, will max and mean work? Theoretically, max and mean just tries to pick up the maximum value or the minimum value from the set of values that are there. But here the values are stored in the form of key value pairs. So let us try to check. And you can see the output. Just like in list, it tries to check the key, the first character of the key, because city, the ASCII value of C and C is same, so it will check of O and I, the second character. The value of I, ASCII value of I is less than that of O, hence the minimum key, it is going to compare the key. It means Python is going to compare the key names when we work on the mean or max function. Same way, when we give max, then name is going to be displayed. That means the name key is going to be displayed. Hence, all the 3 functions work on dictionary. Now we talk about methods. We have already studied 2 methods, get and copy. Now let us try to study some other methods. Say for example, I want only the keys from the dictionary. Then what I can do? I can just give STU keys. So what will happen? I will get only the keys that are present in the dictionary, not the values. Same way, if I try to give student dot keys, what is going to happen? It will return to me the keys of only the outer dictionary, not of the inner dictionary. Yes, of course I can make some modification over here. I want the keys of STU1 from student. That means here also nesting is possible, and then I will get these 3 key values. So if we want only the keys from the dictionary, I can use the method keys. So we write down one more method, that is keys. Let us try to go for the next method. The next method is the items method. Basically it is something to listing down all the elements of the dictionary itself. If we try to check items, as you can observe, the key value pair appear in the form of a tuple. In the previous case, all the keys were appearing in the form of a list. So that is how the results are displayed. Again, key value pair, which is a tuple in itself. Okay. So that was about the items method. Now let us try to go ahead with some more methods. In fact, only one method is left out. We just try to check S2. S2 is also not there. Why? Because S2 was created using the assignment operator, and when we remove S1, S2 is also, in fact we have not created S2. Did we create? Just try to, let us try to check. No, it was not created. So let us try to create S2 equals STU dot copy. and now let us try to check the value of S2 we have. Now how does clear method work? Again, this we have studied with list. So when we give clear, what happens? The entire object or the entire dictionary does not get deleted, but only the elements from the dictionary get cleared up. So that is about the clear method. Now some interesting tasks which all of you have to do by yourself. As I said, dictionary is mutable. What you have to try and do is, if dictionary is mutable, we have studied many methods on list like append, pop, insert and so on. The question then comes is, are these methods going to work on dictionary? Well, that you can check it out by yourself. Okay. So what we have studied today, we have studied how to create a dictionary. Basically it's a key value pair or an associative array in other languages. Also it is more you can relate it to a database table also. Key becomes the column name, value becomes the column within the table. Now here instead of a single value you can have a list, you can have tuple, you can have dictionary. This becomes a nested dictionary and the example is there over here. We know how to access the elements of the dictionary using either the indexing concept, but in index we have to make use of the key or making use of the get method. Then we have studied three functions, len, max and min, as far as dictionary is concerned. Also we have studied 5 methods, get, copy, keys, items and clear. So that is all for this particular session. I hope you have understood all the concepts clearly. So with this we end this particular session. Thank you.